Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome to the Operator's View, and surprise, I'm actually talking. So, I've recently decided to kind of stop the Log and Talk series for now. I've had a lot of people that were, originally on this Operator's View series, I was doing kind of a mixed thing where I was doing time-lapse and then different speeds of time-lapse, and then I kind of determined most people wanted to see, using the joysticks live and stuff. So I was like, oh, I better make it real time. But then watching those videos in real time, I was kind of like, I was bored with the videos myself, even looking at them. I really like time-lapse videos because I even watch time-lapse videos that I make myself just for my own entertainment to see how I'm processing or see how I'm working the equipment. But even me, I got bored of them. I was like, oh, God, I can't watch these in real time with just the crappy YouTube music. And I apologize for the music. I have no choice. It is the will of YouTube, and you just can't escape it. So yeah, I decided I'm going to stop the log and talk episodes for the time being. And I'm just going to talk on these Operator View episodes. Now, again, I don't necessarily have topics. Maybe I'll just talk about what I'm doing in the maps. I don't know. I run out of topics so quick. It's so easy. I always laugh. People are always like, well, what are you going to talk about now? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea, man. I'm out of ideas. But, I really kind of missed just kind of talking normally, I guess, and not really having to have a subject. Kind of like how our logging from scratch episodes went. I kind of had fun with those. Well, those kind of turned roleplay. I'm still figuring myself out on the concept of where I want to be on YouTube and what I want to do. Am I a modder? Am I an entertainer? Am I both? I'm gonna do it all, just for fun. Oh, Pile's jumping back on us there. So yeah, I said to myself, I'm like, well, if I'm gonna if people are gonna watch these videos of the Operator's View in real time anyway, I might as well be talking on them and maybe going over random things. And that way you can see how far out of date I am with my episodes. So I'll be talking about current events, and you'll be like, man, that happened like 4 months ago. And you'll be laughing. So, just to date myself, at the time this video is being recorded, Christmas is, what is it today? Today is December the 7th. So this is being recorded on December the 7th. And it probably won't come out till probably after Christmas maybe. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I gotta schedule stuff. I wish I could just kind of release it day by day, but unfortunately with my schedule and the way I do my work and stuff, I kind of gotta do it a different way to make it work for me. And I've told you guys that over the years for a long time. I'm a very all over the place guy when it comes to work. I'm constantly jumping from job to job and all over the place, working for multiple different people at a time, so I can never really be 100% certain exactly when I can record. So whenever I get a chance, I'm like, how many can I get done today? God, let's go. Because I like to keep the content coming. It's so much fun. YouTube's a blast. I realize I've talked to lots of new people doing YouTube-like things, and apparently it's actually really hard. It's such a saturated market now to be a YouTuber. That's really hard to get a channel going, which is probably why a lot of people buy their way into YouTube, or people are even buying YouTube channels from people. Like, if you have a successful YouTube channel, they sell them, they auction them off. Oh, that was pretty crazy. I was like, give me $100 grand. No, $100 grand. My channel's not worth $100 grand. Give me $50 grand and I'll sell mine right now. Buy it. I'll just make another one. And I'll call it FDR Logging. Oh, didn't see that one coming, did you? I don't know. You just never know what you're going to do with things. But yeah, so Christmas is coming. COVID stuff's hopefully getting dealt with here. Well, in Canada, I think we're not going to really see the whole vaccination thing happening for a while. I think they'll start doing it, but we won't see any vaccinations ourselves for quite a long while, I think. Probably not till the middle of, well, maybe not even till the end of 2021 if you really think about it. Now, I know there's lots of people who don't want to take the vaccine. So I've heard multiple different versions, I guess you could say, versions of how the vaccine thought process goes for some people. So I'm friends. I'm luckily friends with several people who are in the medical industry, whether nurses, doctors, scientific-y type people, and some really close friends of mine that went to school for that kind of stuff. And I've talked to all of them because I mean, this, COVID's a pretty wild thing, and it's an interesting concept to talk about. With all the different conspiracy theories about who did it and who done it and what's going to kill you and what's not, it's really hard to come up with a legit answer for most people on what the best method is. So I've heard lots of my friends. I've heard both sides. Lots of my friends are absolutely not. I will never take a vaccine for a virus that new. My other friends are saying it's absolutely safe if it's going through the process that they all do. Don't worry about it. So I looked into reading about some middle ground research. Yeah, I'm an internet special researcher, so believe everything I say. So from what I'm gathering, and the tale that I'm hearing from most people, is that this vaccine for coronavirus, the reason it moved as fast as it did, which apparently is why the other ones do not, is because it has what they're calling like an open funding, which is basically just anything you can throw at it money-wise to get it going is on the table, like giver. Now, previous viruses, previous pandemic viruses back in the day, or even light viruses that were not like a pandemic level but a problem, they have to go through a process of getting appeals from the government, getting funding from the government, and apparently it's a really long, painful process, like a horribly long, painful process, which is why most of the time vaccines take multiple years to achieve. And I thought that was kind of crazy. So I guess that would make sense, why this one is coming out as quick as it is, because basically they've taken the chains of wait times, they've taken the chains of funding lines out of it, and said, just give her, make us a vaccine that works. Now, that being said, I do believe they did follow all the correct, things to make sure it's done safely, especially in Canada. We're very crazy about that kind of stuff here. So there's always risks with everything. I mean, if you take a flu shot, you're at risk of developing something. If you eat red meat today, apparently, you're at risk of something. If next week you eat a pork loin sandwich, you may get cancer. It's possible. Anything is possible. But when it comes to terms of a global pandemic, things are a little bit different. It's not just your nightly news kind of scare stuff. It's there's a little bit more to it. And I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I mean, I'll follow the advice of the doctors and see what they say, and maybe everybody who takes the vaccine will be dead in like 6 months. I have no idea. I don't know. I have the innate bonus, I guess you could say, of living further up north. So, although we still do have cases up here, they're not quite as aggressive, I guess you could say, as the rest of the world. Did I knock enough trees down there to get some? Sorry, I'm doing some skid running here. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do some skidding. Anyway, so because I live so far up north, I'm kind of a little bit safer on the concept of, we're not worrying about the vaccine as much, just because we don't really have that many cases. That doesn't mean I'm not susceptible to getting it. It just means the chances are slimmer of me getting it up here as opposed to if I live down in Vancouver or Los Angeles or like a bigger kind of place. But will I take it when it comes out? Ooh, I don't know. I'll see what my friends and my doctors and all the other people suggest, and I'll be reading the news. I don't know if I'd take it like right out the gate, but you know what? That's just kind of a personal choice, and if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. If you do want to do it, I mean, power to you. I think eventually it's going to become like you better have it or you're not going to be able to do things. I think they'll eventually put it to the part of, like I said, if you want to travel internationally or do any kind of air travel, that kind of stuff, I think you're going to have it, whether you like it or not. Now, I think when I'm doing this, I'm actually pushing that other pile out. All right. Oh, no, I'm turning the whole works here. So I want to go that way. I'm working in reverse here, and then I want to spin this. There we go. Whoops. Just drunk operating here. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what the method is. Each and every person will have to decide that for themselves, whether they believe it or don't. I don't really I don't really know. I mean, I don't want to get the coronavirus. It sounds bad. I've seen some people get it and they say it's fine, and then I've seen others get it and say it's like their worst nightmare. So, honestly, I mean, I don't want it. I don't think anybody wants it. So, we'll see how it goes. What are you guys gonna do? What do you think? Are you anti-vaccine? And hey, I'm not judging, by the way. I mean, if people don't want to take a brand new vaccine that's only had, a few months testing, I'm not going to be mad at you. I mean, geez, I'm not going to say you're an anti-vaccine person. I mean, when I was a kid, I got vaccinated for everything, and I'm happy for it. I don't want polio. Like, I've heard horror stories about people who didn't vaccinate and get those diseases later in life, and it's a scary world. So, I mean, I'm happy I was vaccinated. Now, like I said, do I want to take a virus that's only been around, or a vaccine that's only been around for so long? I don't know. We'll see how things go. I would not mind returning back to a slight form of normality, though, because it's been a pretty rough year for everybody. Now, maybe by the time you're seeing this video, well, actually it won't be that soon, I don't think, but let's get this little sneaker here. There'll be more of that probably going on. Like, there'll be more people getting it, I'm guessing. More people getting the vaccine and getting kind of cured by then, and then they have what they call herd immunity, which is where enough people get immune to it by taking the vaccine that the virus just dies off on its own because it can't get anyone else. But that's going to take time. That's not going to be an overnight thing. The more people that take it, the more chance it'll go away. Now, whether you're one that does or doesn't, like I said, I'm not judging. But regardless, I hope you guys had or have, depending on when this video comes out, a good Christmas, because I know it's really hard with restrictions and lockdowns and all that kind of fun stuff. Even here, a lot of stuff that me and my family want to do is probably not going to happen just because those restrictions are definitely in place. So, and I mean, it's December 7th. I think today they were doing some announcement about it, but I haven't read the news yet, so we will see what it turns out. Most likely more lockdowns, more suspensions, that kind of gravy stuff, but time will tell. So yeah, anyway, let's get off the subject of horrible, debilitating viruses and talk about the series a little bit. So I realize the series has changed multiple times. I always laugh about my series because I never know what I'm doing. I'm very bipolar when it comes to figuring out what I want to do with a series on YouTube. So, like I said, we started off with time-lapse, showing off the controls, which was a fun time. Then we went from time-lapse to slower time-lapse. And then we went from slower time-lapse to real-time. And real-time, like I said, what we're doing right now, allows you to see the controls, which I had lots of people say, "Oh, can you please disable the time-lapse when you're doing the operator view videos, because I want to see what you're doing with your hands." And I've had a lot of people ask to describe my controls as I'm operating them. So maybe we'll do a little bit of that right now if you guys are bored and listening. So right now I'm operating the Swing Boom Tiger Cat Skidder. So basically, looking at my controls, because you can see my hands, haha. If we kind of put it down to a level here, so it's the same as if you're operating one of the machines. So, like the boom is left, right for swing. The secondary stick is up and down, boom up and down, same as that. And then your spin is on these guys, which I'm going to actually just drop this before I throw this pile all over the place. Now my forward and backward are on my right stick still with the POV switch. So push it forward, you go forward, push it back, you go back. Obviously we're facing backwards, so... now steering, I still have set on my left joystick, just twisting left and right. I find that to be the most easiest one that I don't accidentally bump all the time. And while I'm cruising, I can just, give it a little twist with my fingers. Best case scenario, you would probably be better off if you had a pedals or some type of pedals to drive, and then you can pick a different button to steer, or maybe use the POV on the top to steer. Again, I don't judge. You guys can do whatever you want, whatever works for you guys. Everybody's gonna have a different way that they do this, so I really don't blame you if you don't like that method. Maybe we'll hop in the buncher here a little bit too. So yeah, that's kind of my main controls, and I'll zoom out here a little bit so you can see. So yeah, if I turn, turns, if that makes sense. And then forward, backward, and that's that top POV on the right. These little buttons are just for the processor. My little added buttons here, they don't actually do anything. So I have to adjust my microphone's freaking out here. There we go. So they don't actually do anything on this guy. Well, they might do something, but what does that do? Well, it raises my blade. Oh, see, there you go. Not purposeful. That's just the way it went. And then this side doesn't do anything. So yeah, maybe we should do some bunching. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do these in like 15-minute intervals. I think that's what I've been doing anyway when I do real time. At least when I'm talking now, it'll be slightly more entertaining for you guys. But I'll do 15-minute intervals. That way I know I can get a collection of videos when I do have time for you guys to watch. So in the next video, I'm going to do some bunching. We're going to just keep piling as we go here. And yeah, maybe we'll go over some other stuff related to controls and related to setup of joysticks, and I'll show you guys some tips and tricks on throwing stuff. So, all right, guys, we will catch you in the next one. See ya.